Welcome to your gentle flow and deep stretch. We are going to do a little, kind of like the last class, a little bit of flowy movement. Easy breezy, right? And then obviously we're also going to, stretch it out and all that good stuff. So whenever you're ready, if you would like to go ahead and cue up your music, I'm ready for that. And then when you can find your way down onto your mat, go ahead and start off an opening Shavasana. So extend your legs forward. Let your feet hang comfortably open. And your arms come down by the side body with your palms facing up. And if you feel comfortable closing down your eyes, that is my invitation. And then relax your brows. Allow for your jaw to soften, to release, relax, let completely go, so it unhinges, right? And sometimes it takes a few moments of wiggling your jaw from side to side to get that to happen. And then as you're there, if you kind of roll or slide your shoulder blades down a little bit and slightly in towards one another, you'll feel a natural, gentle lifting of your heart space. This also allows for your collarbones to broaden. And then take your right hand, your palm, down towards your low belly. And then take your left palm to your heart. Relax your elbows down on the ground. And then completely exhale. So wherever it is that you are in your breath cycle, go ahead and empty out. Double exhale at the bottom. So completely push all of the breath out of your lungs. And then on your inhale, allow for the pit of your belly to kind of rise, to press into your right palm. Everything begins to slowly lift. And then you exhale, emptying out. Inhale, feel your belly press into your right palm as your breath travels up your spine, all the way up in between the clavicles to your throat space if it's available. And then exhale to empty out, to release, to soften. You're going to stay like this for several more rounds of breath. Your inhale is an expansion. You grow, you fill up. And then your exhale is an emptying out, a softening, a complete release, doubling out the exhale at the bottom so you are truly empty before you breathe back in. Do this at your own pace. There's nowhere to go, nowhere to be, nothing to do. And as you set an intention for your practice at this time, I invite you to just listen to these words, see if they fall, see if they resonate. Overthinking is a habit that we create when we feel unsafe. It's the mind's attempt to predict the future. It's the illusion that we can think our way into security. The truth is, we cannot control anything external. So a mantra that we can use for overthinking is, I choose peace in this present moment. I choose peace right where I am. So in those moments where your head starts to take over, and sometimes it's in your physical practice, sometimes it's while you're lying in bed at night trying to go to sleep, and it kicks into overdrive, remind yourself that you do have the power to choose peace in the present moment, the present situation that you are in, realizing that while we can influence the outcomes in our lives, we can't control all of the variables. So at some point, we choose to respond rather than react. We we choose to be peaceful within a quantumous mind, no matter what life is throwing at us, no matter how there are ups and downs, we stay pretty neutral, right? So on your next inhale, you can flicker open your eyes, reach your arms up overhead, take a full body stretch, and then roll out your wrists and your ankles. Go in both directions. Arch your low back up and away from the earth, and then interlace your fingers. Flip your palms towards the back of your mat. And then exhale, hug your knees and towards your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins, and then kind of rock your knees from side to side and turn your face in the opposite direction from your knees. Perfect. And on your next inhale, you're right back through center. Full body stretch one more time. And on the exhale, slide your feet over to the left corner of your mat, and you might lift your upper back and kind of slide your shoulders over as well. So you're creating a crescent moon shape with your body. You can cross your right ankle over the left. Your left hand could catch your right wrist. But really just be here. Allow for your right hip and shoulder to stay kind of rooted to the ground. And then notice how with your inhale, your bottom floating rib on the right side lifts up and away from your hip. And then you exhale to kind of relax, release, and let that go. Inhale. And exhale. Now on your next inhale, unravel, pass back through center. Get long before you do anything else. And then exhale, slide your feet over to the right. Perhaps lifting your shoulders, your upper back, and slide your shoulders over to the right corner as well. And then if you need a little bit more, you cross your left ankle over the right. Right hand catches your left wrist. The shoulders and the hips stay flat to the ground. And you breathe into your left side body, feeling maybe that stickiness between your ribs. Create some length here. On your next inhale, come right back through center. Reach your arms up over your head. And then exhale, hug your knees and towards your chest. Now slide your fingertips behind your thighs. Keep your low back rounded as you rock and roll forward and backward. Let's take maybe 3 of these. And on your inhale, lift your hips. And then as you exhale, you rock forward, tap your toes maybe. Inhale, round your low back, rock it back. Exhale to come forward and tap. Let's take one more just like that. Exhale, come forward. Now we're going to change it up. On your inhale, rock it back. On the exhale, come forward, butterfly your legs. Bring the soles of your feet together. And then press your palms, reach your fingertips forward. Now inhale, roll and rock it back. Exhale to come forward, butterfly your legs, press your palms and reach. 3 more just like that. Inhale. The exhale brings you forward. And then inhale, rock it back. And exhale to come forward. Last one. We're going to hold your butterfly the next time you come forward. Inhale, rock it back. Exhale, come forward and hold. Your hands can come down to the ground. Broaden your collarbones. Your heels are in towards your sits bones. And try to keep a long, strong spine so your heart's pulling forward. Some of you might at this point, be lifted, and then some might actually come through the hips and drape your chest down to the ground. Breathe. Relax your brows, your jaw, shoulders back from your ears. And then slowly walk yourself back up. Bring your shoulders over your hips, and then close your knees together like you would the pages of a book. Now I'm going to slide back just a little bit so I find myself more on the center of my mat. Cross my feet at the ankles and come onto hands and knees. So find your box pose. Stack your shoulders, your elbows, and your wrists. Bring your knees underneath your hips. Now spread your fingers out wide, and we've talked about this before, but you want to press down into the webbing between your thumb and your forefinger so you don't create tension up here around your neck, your shoulders, your traps, right? So on your inhale, let a soft belly drop down towards the ground. Lift your chin, lift your tail. And then on the exhale, reverse the movement. Dome out your upper back, tuck your chin, tuck your tail, and really feel in your cat pose how you pull your navel towards your spine. Now inhale, sway it back down. You're going to find the hammock-like shape in your low back. And then exhale to reverse. Dome out your upper back. Really separate out your shoulders. Last round just like that. Inhale, let your belly drape down to the ground. Lift your chin, lift your tail. And then exhale to reverse. Dome out your upper back. Inhale, find your neutral spine. Now with your exhale, leave your hips right here over your knees, but walk your hands forward. So Anahata Asana, it's a puppy pose. You drape your forehead, your chest down to the ground. Now if that's not happening, you can bring your forehead, or your forearms down to the ground for a little bit of support. Otherwise, your arms reach forward. And then your first kind of krama, your first stopping point would be your forehead down. If that feels great, maybe it's your chin and your gaze goes forward. Breathe wherever you are. One more inhale here. And then exhale, slide your hips back towards your heels, drag your hands back and bring your forehead down. Child's pose. Roll your forehead from side to side. And then inhale, lift your chest ever so slightly. Exhale, thread the needle, your right arm underneath the left, and just kind of drape yourself down. So it's going to be a little bit deeper in the upper back and the shoulders. Less of a twist of the spine, but there's a little bit. So just be gentle. Breathe here. It's okay if your chest doesn't come all the way down. And then slide your right arm back out from underneath. Right palm to the ground. Inhale. Exhale, thread the needle, left arm underneath the right. Palm face up. Sit your hips back and down. Relax your brows. When you're inhale, slide your left arm out from underneath you. And then exhale, child's pose, hips back towards your heels. Now on your inhale, lift your hips up and shift yourself forward. Pull the pit of your belly in and up once more, so you want to keep all of this supported. And then exhale, curl up your toes, lift your hips up and back, and find downward facing dog. So if you happen to have blocks with you today, you could have your blocks underneath your hands during downward facing dog. If you feel like the upper back is limited in any way, maybe hands down, or if even your heels are really lifted, sometimes having blocks under the hands can kind of lift you up and back so that the heels get a little bit heavier. Press your chest in towards your thighs. Let the crown of your head drape down. And you can sway your hips side to side. You choose. And then on your inhale, roll to the balls of your feet. It's a soft bend to your knees just so that you can look forward. And then exhale as many steps as you need or want to take your feet to the top of your mat, about hip width distance apart. Inhale, fingertips to your shins. Take the crown of your head forward, your tailbone back, your belly in and up. And then exhale, forward fold. Drop the crown of your head down. And then grab onto opposite elbows for your ragdoll. Still pressing into each foot equally, right? So not rolling to the outer edges of your feet or to the inner edges if that's possible. And then if you like it, you sway your torso side to side like an elephant's trunk. And you just find stillness. Awesome, y'all. And then you'll come back into center. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Reach your arms out and up. Take your time getting there. And then exhale, bring your hands to heart center, but keep your spine nice and long. Lift your chest so your thumbs find your sternum. And then inhale, reach your arms out and up. And exhale, your left arm drops down, your right arm reaches up and over. Breathe here. And then inhale, both arms to the sky. Reach as high as you can. And then exhale, drop your right hand down, reach your left arm up and over. If you're feeling this in your low back at all, take the top of your pubic bone, draw it up towards your navel so you lengthen. And then inhale, take both arms high. And exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold, let your hands come down. All right, y'all. So on your inhale, take a halfway lift. This is a great spot for blocks underneath the hands as well. And then on your exhale, your right leg is straight, your left knee bends, and you reach your right arm up to the sky. So it's a twist happening in your thoracic spine. Just be here. Gaze follows your right thumb if that feels appropriate in your body. Drawing your belly in and up without overdoing your abdominal kind of engagement so that the twisting is actually accessible. Now I want you to maybe take your fingertips, your right fingertips to your right side waist, your obliques. Kind of dig in there for a moment. And then as you inhale, using your right side obliques, lead with your right fingertips. Lift yourself up as you straighten both legs and reach your left arm up. And then exhale, drop your left arm down, reach your right arm up and over. Inhale, both arms high. Exhale, your right hand down, your left arm up and over. Inhale, both arms high. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold, let the crown of your head come down. Now inhale, halfway lift. Get a nice kind of firm stance here for a moment. Your crown is reaching towards the front of your mat, your tailbone back, your belly is pulling in and up. Now your right hand comes down, makes more or less an equilateral triangle with your feet. Bend into your right knee, straighten your left leg. Try to keep your hips level and squared. And then slowly roll your left shoulder on top of the right and reach your left fingertips up to the sky for your twist. Good, y'all. Breathe. Maybe your gaze follows your left hand. And again, fingertips could kind of dig in for a moment to your left side waist, your obliques. Kind of feel all of that out. Completely exhale here. Now reaching with your left fingertips and using your left side oblique. Inhale, lift yourself up. Straighten your right leg as you come up and then swim your right arm around. You're facing the top of your mat. Exhale, drop your right hand down, reach your left arm up and over. Inhale, take both arms high. And exhale, your left arm down, your right arm up and over. Inhale, arms reach like you mean it. Exhale, forward fold, let your chest find your thighs. We're going to take that breath to movement 2 times through. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Left hand comes down. Exhale, reach your right arm up to the sky for your twist. Inhale, reaching with your right fingertips, lift yourself all the way up, straighten both legs, reach both arms high. Exhale, left hand down, right arm up and over. Inhale, take both arms up. And exhale, drop your right hand down, reach your left arm over. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, fold yourself down. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale, your right hand down, right knee bends, left arm up to the sky. Inhale, lift through your left fingertips, straighten both legs, reach both arms high. Exhale, your right hand down, your left arm up and over. Inhale, reach your arms like you mean it. Exhale, your left arm down, your right arm over. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold. Inhale, lift your chest halfway. Exhale, your left hand down, your left knee bends, your right arm reaches to the sky. Inhale, lifting through your right fingertips as you straighten both legs, arms up. Exhale, your left arm down, your right arm up and over. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, right arm down, left arm over. Inhale, reach it up. And then exhale, hinge through your hips. Dump the crown of your head down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, your right hand down, your right knee bends, your left arm reaches to the sky. Inhale, lift through your left fingertips, your left side waist, arms high. Exhale, your right arm down, your left arm up and over. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, last time, left arm down, right arm up and over. Inhale, mountain pose, Urdhva Hastasana maybe, arms up, palms pressing, gaze high. And then exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold, dive it down, let your head hang down. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Exhale, bring your hands down, step your feet back, and just come down to your knees straight away. Hold right here just for an inhale. And then with your exhale, kind of push your bottom up, bend your elbows, knees, chest, chin to the ground, gaze forward. Now inhale, untuck your toes, slide your heart forward so that you can lift it. And then exhale, child's pose, hips to your heels, chest to your thighs, your forehead down, and roll out your wrists maybe. Nicely done, y'all. Now with your next inhale, press up into your box pose. And then on the exhale, just kind of be there. Pull your belly in and up. And then inhale, extend your right leg long behind you. On the exhale, bend your right knee, stack your hip and yawn it open. So watch your right shoulder, it might kind of try to cock open as well. You're really working your right heel towards your left glute. So you might feel the inner hip opening out towards the right side of the room. And then inhale here, pull the pit of your belly in and up, and for lack of a better description, it's kind of like a dog at a fire hydrant, right? And then on your exhale, you start to circle out your right hip. Move with your breath, keep your shoulders squared forward. And then eventually you go in the opposite direction. And then inhale, extend your right leg long behind you. Lift it to hip height. On the exhale, step your right foot all the way forward to your right thumb. Lift your left knee and slide it slightly back. So your right knee tracks your heel or your ankle. And then there's a diagonal from your left hip to your left knee. So traveling down the front of your left thigh. Now on your inhale, bring your shoulders over your hips. Your arms up over your head. Settle in a little bit more for your exhale. Gentle squeezing of your inner thighs towards one another. Perfect, y'all. Now with your inhale, reach your fingertips a little bit higher. And then exhale, open arm twist to the right. So take your left fingertips forward, your right fingertips back. You breathe here for a moment. Continue to draw the pit of your belly in and up. And then inhale, let your right hand come down either to your low back, which is my preference, or your left hamstring. And then your left arm reaches up. So you're getting an arching of the spine. Keep your right knee over your heel or your ankle. You probably even notice it's easy to kind of reach back. Keep your knee placed where it is, and let the rest of the movement originate in your spine. Good, breathe. Take one more inhale, bring your shoulders up over your hips. And then exhale, place your left hand down to the inside of your right foot. And then inhale, reach your right arm up to the sky. Your gaze follows your right fingertips, ideally. If that doesn't feel good in your cervical spine, you just look to the right or you look down at your right foot. Yeah? Good. Now take one more inhale here. And exhale, place your right hand down on the ground and shift your hips back. Straighten your right leg. Flex your right toes back towards your shin. Perfect, y'all. Now with your inhale, lift your chest, pull your heart forward. And then exhale, melt yourself down a little bit more. Nice. And then maybe you untuck your toes, or actually, you know what? If you have your toes untucked, I want you to go ahead and tuck them up. Take an inhale here. And on the exhale, sit back onto your left heel. So you're gonna go a little bit deeper into your right hamstring. Keep flexing your toes back towards your shin. Pull your heart forward. Good. Now take one more inhale. On the exhale, bring your shoulders over your hips. Slide your right heel back. So you're bending your right knee. Place your right foot down on the floor. At this point, you can either leave your left toes tucked underneath you, or you can flatten the top of your left foot down to the ground. It's whatever you choose. Right hand comes to the outside of your right hip. Inhale, lift your left arm high. And then exhale, twist over to the right. So you're in kind of a crouching twist at the back of your mat. With your inhale, lengthen your spine. And on the exhale, lead with your right shoulder, your right collarbone, twist a little bit deeper. And then maybe you turn your face towards your right shoulder. Wherever you are, you're still breathing. On your inhale, turn your face back forward. On the exhale, take a quick counter twist over to the left. And then inhale, come right back through center. Walk yourself back forward. Slide your right foot forward. And then curl up your left toes. Lift your left knee. On the exhale, step back to downward facing dog. So from there, lift your hips up and back and press your chest in towards your thighs. Let your head hang completely down. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Now inhale, roll to the balls of your feet, soft bend to your knees. And exhale, find your box pose, all fours, right back down onto your mat. With your inhale, extend your left leg long behind you, lift it to hip height. And then exhale, bend your left knee, stack your hip, yawn it open. So watch your left shoulder this side. But you're gonna know when you've hit like that magic spot, because when you lift, you're gonna feel a pinch in your gluteus medius, so in that outer area of your bottom and your hip, and you're gonna feel an opening on the exact opposite side on the front. So where you're contracting on one side, you're opening on the opposite. So keep pulling. And then slowly you inhale. Exhale, start to draw your circles with your hip. You're actually drawing the circle with your knee, but it's guiding the ball and socket joint of your hip. And then go in the opposite direction when you're ready. Make sure you're still breathing. And then inhale, extend your left leg long behind you. Let everything get nice, level, and squared off before you move. Exhale, step your left foot all the way through. Lift your right knee and kind of slide it back a little bit. So stack your left knee on top of your heel or your ankle. You can untuck your toes or curl them up, whatever feels better to you. Inhale, bring your shoulders over your hips, your arms up over your head. Stay for your exhale. Now with your inhale, reach your fingertips just a little bit higher. And then exhale, open arm twist to the left. Take your right fingertips forward, your left fingertips back. Open up through your chest. Now your left hand can find the small of your back or your right hamstring, you choose. Inhale, float your right fingertips up. So there's a pushing of the hips forward, but not, forcefully. It's just the hips moving forward with control as you lift your navel up and away from your pubic bone, your sternum up and away from your navel, to create this rounding in the spine, not the low back, right? Your middle and your upper thoracic spine. So keep breathing here. Keep your left knee stacking. Now on your inhale, bring your shoulders back over your hips. And on the exhale, bring your right hand down to the inside of your left foot. Inhale to float your left arm up to the sky. Ideally, your gaze would follow your left hand. And then just stay for your exhale. Breathe. Take one more inhale. And then exhale, place your left hand outside of your left foot. Shift your hips back and straighten your left leg. Flex your toes towards your shin. Breathe here. So remember, the more your navel can slide towards your left thigh bone, the more the left hip will pull back and the right hip slightly forward. And you lead with your heart. Now curl up your toes whenever you're ready. Inhale here. Exhale, slide your left heel back and sit your right glute onto your right heel. Stay here for a moment. Maybe you fold forward a little bit more. Some of you might even cup your left heel with your hands. But breathe. Try to keep your spine long. And then you've got one more inhale. Go ahead and lift up your chest. And then exhale, slide your left heel back. So at this point, you can leave your toes tucked if that feels better, or take the top of your right foot down onto the ground. Now your left hand comes to the outside of your left hip. Inhale, reach your right arm to the sky. And then exhale, twist to the left. Now you could just hug your left knee in if you're feeling, a little bit limited in the upper back. Otherwise, you can hook your right elbow to the outside of your left thigh. Now I take my right fingertips towards my left clavicle, towards the front of my left shoulder, and kind of roll it towards the left. Roll it a little bit more open and then gaze over my left shoulder. Breathe. So it's like a crouching seated twist. On your inhale, turn your gaze forward. And then exhale, swim your hands over to the right and get a counter twist. Inhale, come right back through center. Walk yourself forward. Slide your left foot forward. Curl up your back toes. Lift your back knee. And step yourself back to downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet. You can sway the hips around if that feels good. And then on your inhale, float your right leg up to the sky. Nice and slow. On the exhale, step your right foot all the way forward. Stay on the ball of your back foot unless you choose. If you prefer to come down on the knee, come to the knee. Inhale, bring your shoulders over your hips, your arms up over your head. Stay right here for your exhale. So you've been here before, but your back knee was down. At this point, inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, open arm twist to the right. Take your left fingertips forward, your right fingertips back. Keep your right knee bent. So you have the option here to take your right hand down towards your low back, or you can take your right hand towards your left hamstring. You choose, but lift your left arm up into the sky. So it's like an exalted warrior. Left arm up, right hand here. Breathe here. Keep your right knee over your ankle. Inhale, lift and lengthen. And then exhale, bring your left hand down to the ground. Inhale, reach your right arm up to the sky. Again, you can take your left knee down to the ground if you choose. Otherwise, you stay right here. Inhale, reach your right fingertips a little bit higher. Exhale, bring your right hand down. Straighten your right leg and find your pyramid pose. So just be here for maybe 2-3 breaths. It's not a super long time, but just long enough to get into your right hamstring again. Now remember that all of your movements are preceded by your breath. So if at any point the breath feels like it's getting choppy or shallow, you would cease and desist. And breathe. Now on your inhale, lengthen your spine. On the exhale, spin all the way over to the left into your wide straddle. So it's your Prasarita Padottanasana. You're facing the long edge of your mat. Turn your toes slightly inward, or they could even be parallel to the top of your mat. Now on your inhale, lengthen your spine. And on the exhale, melt yourself down in between your thighs and drop your head down. You're gonna breathe here for 3. You've got 2 more here. And 1. Now on your inhale, lengthen your spine halfway. On the exhale, just flip back over your right leg so you're now at the top of your mat again. Frame your front foot with your hands. Now on your inhale, Bend into your right knee. And then on the exhale, step your left foot forward to meet the right, so you're in a forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale, find your halfway lift. Exhale, fold it down one more time. And then inhale, come all the way up to standing. Reach your arms out and up. And then exhale, bring your hands to heart center, lift your chest. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. And exhale to fold yourself down. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And then exhale, hands down, step your feet back, soften your knees automatically down to the ground. Inhale, press your bottom up, bend your elbows, drop your knees, chest, chin, gaze forward, belly's in. And then you inhale, slide yourself through, lift your heart. And exhale, take your hips towards your heels and find a child's pose. Roll your forehead side to side. And then inhale, press up into your box pose. And exhale, lift your hips up and back to downward facing dog. Inhale, float your left leg up to the sky. And exhale, step your left foot all the way through. You can come down onto the back knee if you choose. Otherwise, leave your back knee lifted. Inhale, reach your arms up over your head. Exhale, stay right here for a moment. Anjaneyasana, your crescent lunge. With your inhale, reach your fingertips higher. And then exhale, open arm twist to the left. Right fingertips forward, left fingertips back. So pull the pit of your belly back to support your low back. Your left hand can find the small of your back. It can come down to your right hamstring. You choose. Inhale, reach your right arm up to the sky. Keep pressing your left knee forward if it's pulling back. Now lift your chest, lift your belly. Breathe. One more inhale here. And then exhale, let your right hand come down to the inside of your right foot. You might have to wiggle your right toes back. Inhale, float your left arm up to the sky. Stay for your exhale. Take one more inhale. Exhale your left hand down, frame your front foot. Shift your hips back and straighten your front leg for your pyramid pose. Here for about 3 breaths. Spin your navel towards your left thigh bone. Relax your brows and your jaw. On your inhale, lengthen your spine. And on the exhale, spin yourself over to the right. So you're now facing the long edge of your mat. So this part, it might get a little bit weird. I'm going to have you bring your hands to the ground, roll to the balls of your feet, and bring your knees down. So we're coming into frog pose. If you don't love frog, you can always take another wide forward fold. Before your frog pose, if you want both knees down on the mat for more padding, what you're looking for is for your hips, your thigh bone, and your knees to be in the same line. And then your ankles are directly under your knees. And then you slowly let your knees separate so your pelvis comes down more towards the floor. And you open up for your groin and your hips, right? And you breathe. You can always place towels or a blanket or something under the knees if this is too much pressure on the ground. Now what I do to get out of this, I kind of bring my heels together like a tadpole and then press my hips back, walk my hands back, and bring my knees together. And then once you're there, Sit back onto your heels for a moment and bring your shoulders over your hips. Roll your shoulders back and down. Give yourself a moment. You can rest your hands on your lap. You can take your right hand to your low belly, your left hand to your heart. Roll your shoulders back. Lengthen your spine. Close your eyes for a moment. And then gently release. Spin to where you're back towards the top of your mat. And then from your box pose, go ahead and cross your feet at the ankles and sit back onto your heels. Extend your legs out in front of you. And you might kind of have to move everything out of the way, right? Get the fleshy part away from your sits bones. And then trying to find the front edge of your sits bones so that you're getting a lifted and a tilted pelvis. And then with your inhale, reach your arms out and up. And then you can bend your knees as much as you need. Exhale, fold yourself down. Relax your shoulders back and down. Pull your heart forward. Breathe here. And then slowly walk yourself back up, shoulders back and down. Cross your right ankle on top of your left knee or thigh. So it looks like an upside down number 4. And if this is enough for your right hip, your inner thigh, all of that, you're going to stay right here. If you want a little bit more, slide your left heel in and bend your left knee. So now you're in like a seated half pigeon-ish. Flex your right foot, lift your chest, and then you're going to move forward or backward according to where you need to go to get the sensation that you're seeking in your right hip. So kind of do that. Keep lifting your chest. You can rock side to side if you need some movement, or you can just be still. Relax your brows. You can even close your eyes. And then you have the option to stay right here for the next 3 or so breaths. If you would like to, you can extend your left leg back long. Now, you've got the option, you can pitchfork your right leg by sliding your forearms underneath your right calf, and now your palms are facing you. You lift your chest, your right foot is flexed. You can stay there, or your right foot comes into the left elbow crease, and the right knee comes into the right elbow crease, and you lift your chest. Both feet are slightly flexed. If you notice, like I started to rock back, try to get yourself to sit back up and forward. One more inhale here. And wherever you are, exhale, slide your right foot towards the inner left thigh. Open your right knee out. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. And then exhale, fold over your left leg. Janushirshasana A. Pull your heart forward. Lengthen your spine. Take a deep breath in and out. On your inhale, lift your gaze. And then as you exhale, walk yourself back up. Bring your right knee up into the sky. Your right foot goes flat, and you might kind of heel toe your right foot to where it kind of lines up with your left inner knee. Bring your hands back behind you. Fingertips point towards you. Roll your shoulders back. And then with your inhale, lift your hips, and maybe your left foot goes flat. And then exhale, sit yourself down. Extend your right leg long and cross your left ankle over your right near thigh. Breathe here for a moment. Feel it out. Because there's honestly no need to go deeper if this is already a lot, right? You stay here and you work this and you breathe here until you start to feel some sensation and some change, right? And then if you're like, I need some more, bring your hands back behind you, fingertips towards you, bend your right knee and draw your right heel in, and scoot your bottom closer to your right heel. Keep puffing up your chest, breathing here. Feel the warming of your outer left hip. Give it a little flex of the left foot to support your left knee. And you can move your hips closer or farther away from your right heel. Find that space that's just right for you. You can rock your knees side to side. This is a perfect place to stay. If you feel like you need a little bit more, you slide your right leg back forward. Pitchfork your left leg by sliding your forearms underneath your left calf and your palms are facing towards you. Slight flex of your left foot, but do try to keep your shoulders over your hips. And when you're here and it fits like a glove, at some point you might cradle your left leg. So the left foot comes into your right elbow crease, the left knee into your left elbow crease. So your shin is kind of around your chest line. Breathe, shoulders back and down. One more inhale here. Now wherever you've gotten exhale, release with control. Place your left foot to your right inner thigh. And then inhale, reach your arms up overhead. And exhale, fold over your right leg and breathe. On your inhale, lift your gaze. And then exhale, walk your hands back up, shoulders over your hips. Lift your left knee, sole of your left foot to the ground, and then you might kind of slide your left foot slightly forward so it's a little bit more in alignment with your right knee. Hands behind you, fingertips pointing towards you. Press your palms down. Inhale, lift your hips, take your right toes to the ground maybe. And then exhale, sit yourself down. Extend both legs out in front of you. And then roll yourself down one vertebra at a time until you find yourself down on your back. And then once you get there, slide the soles of your feet together, your heels in towards your sits bones, and let your knees hang comfortably open. So it's a Supta Baddha Konasana, your supine butterfly pose. Your hands can come down next to your hips. And then you inhale, press the knife edge of your feet down and lift your hips. So it's a cobbler's bridge. And then just breathe here for maybe 3, right? Not a whole lot, but just enough. And you might notice that like the hips kind of start to bounce a little bit or like a vibration. That's all fine. Let it happen. As long as you don't feel pain, right? There's no pain, but it might be a little uncomfortable. It's okay. Take one more inhale. And then exhale, let your hips come down softly to the ground. And then draw your knees together like you would the pages of a book. And then take a collapsed bridge. Heel till your feet out, and then let your knees fall in towards one another. It's a great point to close down the eyes if you feel comfortable doing so. You're on your back, you don't have to get back up. On your inhale, open your arms out to a T. And on the exhale, let your knees fall over to the right. So it's like a wide leg twist. And then inhale, come back through center, but let your entire low back find the ground. And then exhale, take your knees to the left. Inhale through center, low back flattens. Exhale your knees to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale, knees to the left. And then just take a few more rounds of this at your own pace, matching your breath to your movement. And then the next time your knees fall over to the left is the last time. And then you inhale, come back for center. Exhale, hug your knees all the way in. Wrap your arms around your shins and then slide your hands to your kneecaps. Big toes are touching. On the inhale, divide your knees. Draw them out to all four corners of the room. And then exhale, bring your knees through center. Inhale, we open. Exhale to center. So just drawing circles on the ceiling with your knees to once more get into the ball and socket joint of your hips. And then go in the opposite direction. Come back into center. Cross your right leg over the left. Give it a little squeeze. Squeeze your inner thighs towards one another. Bring your hands to opposite knees, shins, ankles. Just a little bit of a counter for all of the inner hip we've been working. Take an inhale. Exhale, release to a quick happy baby. Inhale here. Exhale, cross your left leg over the right. Squeeze your inner thighs in, hands to knees, shins, ankles. It's kind of like you're making handlebars out of your legs, right? Keep your low back flat. Inhale here. Exhale to your happy baby. And then inhale, press your feet up into the sky and draw figure eights on the ceiling. One more breath here. And on your exhale, hug your knees and towards your chest, wrap your arms around your shins, soften your shoulders, bring your forehead up to your knees. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale to your Shavasana. Extend your legs forward, let your feet hang comfortably open. Your arms come down by the side, body palms face up. You can always take your hands and place them on your body in some way if that would be better. Close down your eyes. And rest. what you need is to be here a little bit longer. You're going to tune me out and stay right where you are. Otherwise, begin to deepen your breath. To wiggle your fingers and your toes. And on your inhale, float your arms up overhead. Find your full body stretch. And on the exhale, hug your knees in towards your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins. And you roll over to the right or rock up straight away to your comfortable, easy sit. Just right where you are. You'll sit up nice and tall, shoulders back and down. Go ahead and seal your hands in Anjali Mudra at Heart Center today and take that moment to remind yourself that you can find peace in the present moment, in the present situation, whatever it is. So that's my invitation to you as you go out about the rest of your day, whenever it is that you do this. Peace be with each and every one of you. Namaste.